are at Cherrystone Family Campground on the eastern shore of Virginia. And this campground is really nice. It's right on the Chesapeake Bay. You're actually facing west back towards kind of like mainland Virginia across the Chesapeake Bay. But it's really nice. The water's nice and calm. Fishing, kayaking, paddle boards, things like that. Very abundant around here. Very, very pretty campsite. We have a decent campsite. We got a premium site, but it's right under a power transformer. You can hear that thing humming. Sounds like we have a kind of like a built-in bug zapper. But you know, other than that, I think it's a really nice place so far.
Oh yeah, they're coming up beside you. They're like follow.
Okay, now before we start talking about the size of the RV and how to measure it pretty easily, I want to talk a little bit about actually having a spotter when you're backing into a space and the communication that is critical when you're actually parking the RV. As you can see in this clip that I'm showing you right now, there were so many kids playing, and I don't mind kids running around playing, but they would not stop for the RV. And even after we started backing up and my wife was trying to tell them to stop and just give me a second to back in, they were riding their bikes through our site and even behind our RV. There were people in vehicles trying to pass us the whole time. It's really critical to have a spotter out there that you have good open communication with, either through your phones or walkie-talkies, whatever the case. But it was really helpful making sure that I had somebody out there looking, because it would have been really stressful trying to back the thing into the space and people running around everywhere and not having someone to help me out. So I wanted to make sure that I dropped that in there just because it is very helpful to have somebody that can spot for you.
All right, so to measure the width, I'm just going to use a regular tape measure and hook it onto the edge and stretch it across. All right, edge to edge. Ooh, that's cold. We are at 101 inches.
That's exactly what it's advertised as.
Yep. Of course, you also have to take into consideration your awnings because they stick off a little bit, and we also have a pipe that comes off the side on the driver's side for the exhaust of the generator.
We are just using a measuring tape and we're going to see how long this thing is. I'm going to show you another way to do this
You need a rock.
if you have an iPhone. So it's just under 45 feet. Now I'm going to try the same thing with my phone. You can do this with a measure app. And I'm going to screen record while I do this. I'm going to screen record so that you guys can see what I'm looking at with this. Hopefully this will work. So
Hopefully.
I'm going to come up and I'm going to grab the point of the RV.
So you just walk from point to point?
So I just walked from point to point, and now it's created a little virtual measuring line that says 45 foot 3 inches from point to point. So you can actually do it with your phone. Now I would measure first with the regular measuring tape just to be sure, but it's pretty accurate. Easy. Now I can actually, what I'll do is I'm going to take a snapshot of this so that I always have that picture and I know exactly how.
So can you do that for the height too?
It's not going to work for the height because you got to get close to the point in order to be able to make it. So I wouldn't be able to go up to it and do the next point. It won't do it from the ground. But
Gotcha.
Length and width, you should be able to use the measure app on your phone. Okay. All right, so you just saw us measure. We can do it with the regular measuring tape, and you can do it with your phone too. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, what's important to remember is that the factory measurements are based on the center of your kingpin to the back of your camper, and then from width to width of the body for the frame. It doesn't take into any account of anything you have added. So if you have a ladder strapped to the back of your camper or anything like that, make sure you add those additional inches to that measurement.
Yeah, in our case the ladder is actually thinner than the exhaust pipe and sits on the side of the RV.
Right.
So it's not that big of a deal. But Yeah, you're right. Like, make sure you're looking at the awnings and the
Yeah.
exhaust pipe if you have one. With the RV and the truck, we're right around 60 feet long. So there are restrictions in certain areas for the overall length of the rig. So make sure that you are taking that in consideration too. Get a good measurement when the truck is actually connected to the RV. The other thing that we did was make sure that we measured the height.
Yeah, so for us, our RV measured 13 feet, 5 inches and a half. 5.5 inches.
So it's close to that tunnel.
Yeah, so the tunnel said 13.6. I don't know if they expect for it to be 13.6 maximum height or if the bridge itself was maximum of 13.6.
And
but
what's good about that tunnel is that they actually have a height detector before you even get to there at the toll, and they'll turn you around if you're too tall. So they do have some checks in place for that, but it was nice to know that we can go across that. In fact, we're going to be going across it very soon, heading back out of this place, and then we will be making our way back to the Eastern Shore at some point.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you.
Gromit!
We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night.
You got this.
It's just us two, me and you. Oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, I just feel so lucky. Still can't believe you love me.
Check out Cape Charles, the town. We went out and had dinner. It was amazing.
yeah, there's a couple of local restaurants that are pretty amazing that we went to. We'll make sure we include the names of them in the description.
Yeah.
Some of them have long waits, so call ahead if you are looking for a larger party, because there was 8 of us.
Yeah, you pretty much had to have a reservation.
Check out the beach area. They have parking along the side of the road. That doesn't cost you anything to park there.
Overall, the campground was good.
Oh yeah, Cherrystone
Like the
is
campground?
a beautiful campground. It's been Michaela's favorite so far because she likes the water anyway. So anything water related, she's happy.
Getting that quad workout. Currently paddling out here at Cherrystone. You can't.
Cherrystone paddle boats are free.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay anything to rent them. But there is a 30-minute limit on your fun.
I don't know if my quads can last 30 minutes.
Well, I don't think you have to pedal the whole time. And there's a cool little tunnel that you go through to get to the other side.
This is pretty fun. I mean, this is included with the campground. This is awesome.
You can rent bicycles and the little 3-wheelers. What else do they have?
Everything,
Tons.
golf carts. It was a really nice campground. It's a little busy, and the spot we had was like on Main Street with the kids and people walking by.
Oh, they had the air jumps. That's something different that no other campground has had so far. It's like it's almost like
It's
a
huge.
trampoline, but it's just air.
It's like these huge pillows protruding out of the ground.
That's what they're called, air pillows. They're called air pillows out of the ground for you to jump on. As part of the playground area, so kids were out there doing somersaults and just having a good time.
Yeah, it was fun.
There's also 2 dog parks.
In Dog Beach.
Yeah, and a dog beach. Tons of dog walks.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you really liked it, make sure you subscribe.
And ring the bell so you get notified when we release our next video.
And until the next strange adventure.
Keep making your own.